Hello, my name is Zoe Schneider, and I call myself a millennial with pride. But you know, I'd like to tell a story, so why don't we go ahead and put that title aside? See, I was raised by a baby boomer, something of which I'm incredibly proud. They're people with strong values, some of which with me they've endowed. My parents are hardworking, and they are honest, and they're the voice of reason in my head. And every night I had a hot meal and slept warm in my bed. After all, these are the people who were raised during an interesting time. Dr. King had been shot, humanity forgot, and civil rights reduced to a war on crime. But make no mistake, I deeply appreciate the legacy y'all left behind, because Americans can now live without polio, and there's new meaning to the term online. Life again, you breathed into feminism, and the Beatles still make us dance. You pushed for civil rights, I can get birth control, and you gave the environment a chance. But if you choose to own the title of millennial, with the name comes a pretty bad rep. I hear we're impatient, entitled, and when it comes to most practical skills, apparently we're inept. But here I stand before you to shine a light on truth, because our world has changed quite a bit, and as follows is some proof. Although about 61% of millennials have in fact attended college, about 48% of them are working a job that doesn't require that extent of knowledge. But please let me assure you, nothing hurts nearly as bad as when Pew tells me 33% of us are currently living with mom and dad. But there is one area in which we're winning, how could I forget? The generation with over $1 trillion in unpaid college debt. Yet today in America, women are still paid 30 to 36% less than men, and African Americans 6 times more likely to end up in prison. But I didn't come here to talk numbers, and I am not trying to complain. Every generation has its struggle, and it's useless to compare pain. Anyway, I'm not an economist. I actually don't even have a degree. I also have no professional experience at all, so I'm not even sure why you're listening to me. All I can speak to is the way I view the world, and the small role I get to play. And despite some shockingly low expectations, there are some millennials that just might blow you away. A friend of mine from Cali, she started Real Teen magazine. She then nationally toured with the artist Soja, and by the way, she's 19. There's a guy who I grew up with who tours the world playing left-handed bass because God made him a songbird, and tell me, if you had wings, would you stay in one place? There's a woman I met in Boston who's one of the first in her family to get a degree, an Ethiopian immigrant who next year will graduate pre-med from MIT. Okay, yes, we are the generation to send on average 67 texts per day, but we're the same generation that doesn't care if you're a different color, religion, or gay. Millennials' tolerance of other races is up 28% compared to Gen X because we understand diversity can only contribute to our overall success. Now, every generation is screwed up. That is undeniable. But if from my words you take away anything, it should be that millennials are reliable. We are going to do more than simply learn from your mistakes. We are hungry for change, and we are willing to raise the stakes. We see that only love can conquer hate in a world where gun violence rises at an unprecedented rate, and we cannot let these problems grow any bigger, so thank God for artists like Kendrick who preach change with passion and vigor. Tell me, when's the last time you turned on the TV without seeing the consequences of terror? When any of our human brothers or sisters die, the burden and pain we all share. Now, there is a long road ahead of us. That, too, nobody can deny. And these problems seem too big to fix, but damn it, we have to try. Because thanks to your smartphone, we don't have the luxury of turning a blind eye. The age of world wars needs to be over, and apathy is the only thing that must die. So millennials, our greatest advantage is our access to information. So let's listen to Beyonce and go get into formation. And to my elders, and especially to those with less years marked on their soul, know that to make this world a better place for all is our primary goal. From every person of every age, we have something we can learn. So do your part, lead with your heart, and then give the next generation a turn. Millennials, the time is now. The power, it falls in our hands. So let's be humble, responsible, but excellence let us always demand. We will make mistakes. With great success will come heartbreak and sorrow. But I stand on this stage promising you millennials will craft a better tomorrow. If you can do it, we can do it. Your predecessors were literally called the greatest generation. But you somehow found a way to fill their shoes working with little more than your imagination. So for the greatest, the Gen X, the Gen Y, Z, silent boomers in this crowd, Don't forget whose children we are. And please, give us the chance to make you proud. Millennials, go prove me right. Break glass ceilings and open new doors. We have the chance to change the world, and the choice to do it is yours. Thank you.